Well, on your mark, get set, terrible.
Yeah.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
What's going on, guys? It's JSGC here, and we're here for the Wigan Athletic 1-0 victory in the FA Cup 5th round. It means, sadly, that there won't be any quadruple. Not that anyone thought that we'd win the quadruple in the first place. I was expecting Man City to probably go and win this game. When I saw the team lineup that they put out, I thought it was quite strong, and I thought that there was more than enough quality there to go and do the business. Against Wigan, absolutely fair credit, though, to Wigan for winning the game, being amazing in defence. I will get to that when we get to that through the whole review, so I've got it nicely planned out, so hopefully this will be okay. So first up, I thought that City were extremely poor in this game. Don't take anything away from Wigan, but Wigan, I think, are 46 places, I think, below Man City in the whole league table. So when Man City are turning up away from home, we've had 6 days rest. We've won 4-0 comfortably away in Switzerland. I'm expecting Man City to turn up, show the quality, make the game about quality, tire Wigan out and score a couple of goals. That's what I was expecting from the game. It kind of ish went to plan, and it kind of ish didn't. We'll get to that one. So I thought that we were poorly prepared in this game. I thought that in terms of the pitch wasn't in the best condition, considering there's been no rugby league being played on it. I think there's been 1 or 2 games, something like that. There's been no rugby played on it. The pitch isn't in the greatest shape that I've ever seen. It's quite a poor pitch, and ultimately it's allowed the pitch to be quite sticky, and so there's not a lot of pace on the pitch, which is perfect for Wigan playing what they wanted to do against Man City. And I know Wigan play some nice football at times as well, so I wouldn't imagine that it works too well for them. I mean, we've got to look past the Man City match. They've had matches against Southend and Blackpool that they've lost, and they've also got a game, I think, at this weekend coming up. They've also got a match against Rochdale. They're another team that has struggled with their pitch, so it'd be interesting to see kind of what happens with the pitches here, because at City, I know, are used to playing on the nice green grass, nice things flowing, being able to use the pace of players like Leroy Sané, who didn't have a good game in this game. It weren't really there for us, so ultimately ended up playing well into Wigan's favour, and I thought that Man City should have maybe played the team a little bit different, had a little bit different mentality, and I felt like, unlike in the previous rounds where Pep went and watched Cardiff himself, went to see what Cardiff were about. He knew what Burnley were about. We played Burnley numerous times. I'm not aware that he sent anyone to go and watch Wigan. I think that's extremely poor. We've not even sent a scout to go and watch Wigan. I don't feel like there was anyone advising. I think that they're seeing that they've got a League One side. They've had 6 days break, put out a strong team, will win the game. That's what I feel like the approach has been from Man City, which is poor in my opinion, because no team can be underestimated in England. They can't. Championship teams, League One sides, League Two sides even. The professional football teams, they know how to play. They have their own style. They have their own system. They'll stick to it like glue. So you have to be better prepared. So, you know, Man City, you want to do email me. I'll be more than willing to give you some advice on how to play with League One and League Two teams. Having watched a fair amount of football from League One and League Two, would have come in useful. I could have told you that Wigan would have. In fact, I did. I said that Wigan are going to go long. You know, it's not going to be the greatest game in the world. There's more than enough quality, though. There's no excuses. We didn't have our shooting boots on. Never mind. Fabulous. Well done, Wigan. Now, for City, poor performances from Bravo. I thought for the goal, his positioning was bad. His passing at times was bad. Kyle Walker for the error for the goal. Danilo just keeps shooting. Don't really know what he was doing. He makes some good runs, makes some bad runs. Crosses aren't great. It's all a bit of a meh, if you get where I'm coming from. Delph didn't play well before he got sent off. Stones, Laporte, Fernandinho, Gundogan, they all didn't have good games in my opinion. Also can go further along that. David Silva played okay, just only okay. I thought De Bruyne played well. When he came on, he was getting bowled into the box. Our attackers weren't with it though. Bernardo Silva, Leroy Sané, Sergio Aguero even. Just literally not a lot there, and it was really disappointing. The whole team effort was really disappointing, and if we play like this every single game from now to the end of the season, we're not going to be winning many, if any, games like that. The intensity, the preparation and the play has to be executed a lot better than what it was last night. There we go. For Wigan, absolutely superb in defending. Amazing. The centre-back, Byrne, I think it was. Now, I thought Nathan Byrne, the right wing-back, was fantastic. Pace getting forward, breaking up Man City. Showed a lot of ambition. They weren't afraid. Will Grigg, Nick Powell before he went off, they played well, but Byrne in the centre-back, absolutely fantastic. He was meeting every ball with every header, he was powering along, and he was leading the charge from Wigan. I think the BBC gave Will Grigg the man of the match for scoring the goal, but in my opinion, Byrne doesn't play him. They put someone else in there possibly. Wigan probably don't win this game. They don't get anything from it. He was absolutely fantastic. So him, in my opinion, man of the match. And it's the first time I've given a man of the match, I think, this season to a player that isn't a Man City player. That shows you how well Wigan have played. Fair credit to Wigan. They've got Southampton the next round in a home match. That's a very winnable game for them. They've now got Bournemouth, West Ham and Man City scalped since the third round. Fair credit, fair credit. Right, so we're going to get on to the game now. So I want to say that first I'm going to go with the first talking point, which was Fabian Delph's red card. Everyone's talking about all kinds of incidents. This is the first one that sees things just escalate completely out of control. And I'll get through all the other talking points as well. It's probably to be towards the end of the video though. Fabian Delph, the ball right on half-time. Man City have a corner, it breaks out. Fabian Delph is in a 50-50 challenge. He goes in, the studs goes up, the studs go back down. The challenge goes in, it's a hard challenge. He wins the ball, there's a bit of a follow through and there's a little bit raised up on his boot. Again, studs aren't raised. Okay, free kick's given. I thought it was a strong challenge and I initially thought that I didn't even think it was a free kick. On looking back on the replays, I can understand why a free kick's being given. The yellow card comes out. Again, my initial thought was yellow card looks a bit harsh in my opinion, as I didn't even think it was a free kick. Again, on second looking, I'm thinking, okay, they don't really allow them challenges now. A yellow card, okay, we can move on with that. The referee pulls out a yellow card. He writes down Fabian Delph's name, writes down their Fabian Delph's number. I don't know whether the assistant referee or the fourth official or someone's had a word in his ear for him to change his mind. But the Wigan players absolutely hound the referee. Now, I thought the FA were doing something to stop this, so I'm hoping some kind of action or something will be done about that, because I feel like the referee has his mind changed. Instead of producing a yellow card, he produces a red card and sends Fabian Delph off. Taylor was also the fourth official for the Wigan FA Cup final back in 2013, referee for the FA Cup quarter-final that Man City lost at the Etihad Stadium, and referee for this match as well. Interesting. Now, I'm not making an excuse. I understand-ish why a red card's being given. If it was against a Man City player and a red card was given, I'd be going, yes, that is a red card. Because against a Man City player, you know, I'm thinking that it's a yellow card. I've seen worse challenges get red cards. I've seen worse challenges not get red cards. That's all I will say. It's in the 50-50 category. Pep Guardiola's even come out and said it was a red card. He doesn't want retrospective action against him, obviously with his tunnel buster, which I'll get to. So, you know, I think we can move on with that situation. Fabian Delph's going to have a free match ban. He's going to miss the League Cup final along with big games against Arsenal and also a big game against Chelsea in the Premier League, 2 Premier League games. You know, we've got more than enough cover. Danilo and Zinchenko can play there, but it does reiterate that we are really missing a left-back. Mendy still isn't back, and he's shown no signs of coming back within the next month or so, so we're still looking a little bit short, and it's a real shame. Fabian Delph, there you go. Anthony Taylor, the referee, the Man United fan who claims that he's an Altrincham fan. I think the less said about that, the better. I think it's a real spineless referee to go and have your initial, have the card out, you're on television, everyone knows your initial thoughts, a yellow card, to go and change it. God only knows why, it's pretty stupid. I reiterate that I've said numerous amounts of times in other videos, referees should be held accountable, the referee should be given an interview as well, the referee should be made to explain themselves after the game, as to why they've made that decision, and ask them about the incidents. The managers get asked this, the players get asked this, why should the officials be any different? Because I'd love to hear from them, we never seem to hear from referees. This is part of the problem as to why things aren't working with the officiating and the VAR. We want to hear, we want to see what they're, we want to hear and see what they're thinking, what the decisions are going to be. Cricket's got it, rugby league, rugby union, they've all got it. Why can't football? Need to start making things work. For City, I've already said the pitch was in poor condition. It's a typical League One pitch, though. I don't really know what Man City were expecting there. I thought that Pep was poor, playing players like Sane on pace. The pace was clearly not there. We were getting outpaced by centre-backs and Will Grigg, who I know for a damn fact aren't the quickest players out there, yet Kyle Walker and that couldn't keep up with them. The pitch is sticky, so the pace isn't there, so they need to be going with skill. Raheem Sterling's quite a skillful player. Leroy Sané couldn't get involved into the game. Bernardo Silva's another skillful player. Again, De Bruyne is another skillful player left on the bench. Didn't even see Sterling. We didn't see any kids. If there was kids playing, I'd have expected it. I feel like Brahim Diaz and Phil Foden would probably put themselves a better account than what Leroy Sané did in this game. The pitch would probably suited them better too. There you go. So like I said, no pace. They're getting outpaced by guys that are 6'5" in Burn. Fantastic. Ultimately, City end up paying the price for it. Will Grigg breaks on the counter-attack. The ball's played through. The player's offside. Not Grigg, another player is, so he's not involved in it. Kyle Walker leaves it. Will Grigg's onside, latches onto it. Kyle Walker, he gets sold one way, kind of runs, hesitates a little bit, going one way, goes the other, can't keep up. Tries to make a challenge. Will Grigg goes off balance, scores a goal. It's not in the corner, but it's a good finish. He's off balance. I'm questioning Bravo's position for this. I feel like maybe Bravo could have done a little bit more central. And more importantly, you watch Ederson and how he basically does his goalkeeping is he closes down the player. Ederson would have rushed out, he'd have met the player, and under the pressure, Will Grigg may have been a little bit hesitant, it might have been a little bit different. In my opinion though, this confirms to me Ederson should be in goal on Sunday. We're not winning the FA Cup now, we've got to win trophies. Strongest 11 has to go out on Sunday now, and sadly for Bravo, Ederson is our #1 goalkeeper. He has to play. We've had this discussion before. I know Bravo's played all the games, but Ederson, he's got to play. He's a fantastic goalkeeper, so why leave him on the bench and risk losing a trophy like that? Now on to the more matters that got out of hand. Pep got really angry. Go and check that out on Twitter. You'll see it. Just put Pep half-time and you'll see the reactions. He is raging. He gets right in the face of Paul Cook. He isn't happy. He gets right in the faces of the referees. He's shouting. He's absolutely going for it. He's having to be held back. Probably will be action on Pep for that. Hopefully, fingers crossed that it's not banned for the final or anything, because we want him on the touchline. He obviously is a fantastic manager. Paul Cook, he was the exact same. He was warned of his conduct. He's come out with some post-match statements which are fantastic, saying he wants Man City to win the Premier League and the Champions League, and he's trying to ease all the tensions there. It doesn't stop his actions of what he did with Pep and what he goes squaring up and what he did with Sergio Aguero. That makes him a bit of a dick. It's like Neil Warnock in the same situation. You know, put yourself in a good light. Neil Warnock comes out and chats a load of shit at the end of matches, whereas Paul Cook's not. So I can't put him in the same category as Neil Warnock. But how he handled the match in them 90 minutes, Paul Cook, poor. Pep Guardiola, I'm going to say it as well, poor. I'm not going to be biased here. Nick Powell went off injured for Wigan. That was a big blow for them. I'm going to have to see now how Wigan respond. Like I said, they've got a match against Rochdale coming up. Apparently some fans have said these fans that ran onto the pitch won't be there for that Rochdale game. Happens when you play big teams. Now, Nick Powell, injury, it's a big blow to Wigan. Wigan themselves, they're chasing for promotion League One. It has to be their priority. Like I said, if they've never won the FA Cup or they've not won it in so long and the fans are getting the FA Cup fever, I understand. Wigan have won the FA Cup back in 2013. So in my opinion, their priority should be League One. It has to be League One, their priority, getting out of League One. The last thing they want, as Blackburn have now overtaken them, Wigan have slipped down to third. They're going to have games in hand. They're going to have another match postponed because of the quarter-final if they win that quarter-final against Southampton, which we cannot rule out at all. They're going to have another match postponed, and they're going to end up having a big pile-up. And if Blackburn carry on picking up the wins, Shrewsbury can turn around their form, which could well happen. There's a good chance that could happen. They are second in the league. Then all of a sudden Wigan are facing themselves being quite a few points behind, and they're going to start looking into the playoffs. And again, you get this little bit of a pile-up. Doesn't make sense to me, but, you know, that's something you have to cope with. That's what they have squads for, and these injuries obviously aren't helping. Now, for Man City, we've got Arsenal on Sunday, as already mentioned. I'm looking for a response. I want them to keep the hunger. There was a lot of anger in Man City's team at the final whistle. I want them to keep that fire burning. I want them to be angry. I want them to go into training, really work hard, be determined, be like a beast, be like an animal. Just say, right, be really focused, just want it. The problem with this game was I didn't feel like Man City wanted to win. I want them to go on Sunday. I want them to win. I want them to be clinical. I want them just to go at Arsenal. All guns blazing, just let them go, just let them know what Manchester City are about, let them know why we're 16 points clear at the top of the table, let them know why we're going to the quarter-finals of the Champions League. Show them that we are going to win a trophy, make a statement, because, I'll say this right now, You'll forget about this Wigan match as a Man City fan if Man City win on Sunday. You'll only remember the trophies. You only remember winning, okay? You only remember when you win trophies, so you forget about it. Wigan won the trophy 2013 beating Man City. Everyone knows that. Not many people know that Wigan the season after beat Man City in a quarter-final of the FA Cup. Because Wigan didn't win the trophy and Man City weren't a final, no one remembers it. No one will remember this if you're a Man City fan, particularly if they win on Sunday. Pellegrini responded when we was going through that little blip and ended up winning the League Cup when it was under a huge amount of pressure, where Caballero ends up saving the penalties from Liverpool, if you remember. He was under a huge amount of pressure to win that. He did. Can Pep repeat the same? Fingers crossed, hopefully. Preview will be up for that towards the end of the week. Keep an eye out for that one. Subscribe if you are interested. Now, more incident, it allows more rest for Man City this now. We've got just Premier League, literally a Carabao Cup on Sunday, then it's just Champions League and the League. Now that Champions League second leg, dead. It's dead. Man City are through. So we've got literally, like Leicester, just week after week, just thinking about game after game. There's no fixture pilot, there's no fixture congestion. Our match with Brighton's now going to be postponed because we've not gone through, but they have. They got Manchester United, so when that will be, I have no idea, so I'll keep an eye out for that one. We'll have a little bit of a pilot with that one game, but as soon as we're clear of that game, we've got no pilot. All we can think about is Premier League, game after game, win your games, win the Premier League as soon as possible. Then we can focus on the Champions League. We've got 5 games before the quarterfinals, I think. No reason why I can't go and win 4 or 5 of them games. Premier League will be wrapped up by then. Now, last but not least, I want to just say that the biggest incident of them all was the response at the end of this game, and it's what a lot of people are talking about. As the final whistle has gone, I'm going to question a couple of things. As the final whistle has gone, though, fans have pitch invaded. They've round to the pitch to celebrate Wigan's great victory. Absolutely nothing wrong with pitch invading. City have won trophies, and we've pitch invaded before, so I can't criticise that. I like pitch invading. You like pitch invading. It's a fun thing to do, but one thing you don't do, and I've seen it a few times in football over the recent 2 or 3 years, what you don't do is you don't start antagonising players. That's the first thing you don't do. You don't start getting in the face. You're going to get a response. When the player responds, you know, people start questioning the professionality of the players. This time it was Sergio Aguero involved, riled up, fans have got in his face. Another fan's gone right into his face, he's swung an arm to shove him out of his way. It's ended up escalating and tried to get into a fight with the other fan. It was all a bit ridiculous. Again, this incident doesn't happen if the pitch invasion isn't there. Now, where are the stewards? Where are the police stopping the pitch invasion? Why aren't they anticipating something like this happening? And instead, you end up with a situation like this. I expect action to be taken against Wigan for the pitch invasion, failing to control the fans, and endangering their players as well as Man City's players. You know, the referee, again, is another one to blame. Referee, they must have anticipated that there'd be a pitch invasion. So surely the referee should have a word with everyone, just crowd everyone, because it was a goal kick when he was going to blow the full-time whistle. He knows when he's going to blow it, so he could have moved all the players towards the tunnel to say they're going to pitch invade. As soon as the whistle goes, just run as quickly as you can to the tunnel and get out of the situation. That doesn't happen. We end up with a big situation where people are upset. You end up with a situation where people are angry, you've just lost, and people are getting in your face, and you'd be pissed off, you really would. If you're a player and you want to win, I don't care how much money you're on, you will to win, and people get in your face, you're going to retaliate. Someone comes up to your face and starts shouting when you've just lost or you're disappointed, you're going to retaliate. So something should be done about that. Next up, these Wigan fans decide that instead of clearing the stadium after their altercation with Sergio Aguero, they go and antagonise the Man City fans. And so they end up getting with a situation involving the police and Man City fans. Man City fans end up ripping up the hoardings towards the sponsorships at the bottom of the pitch. It gets chucked onto the pitch. It was caught on TV and it hits a police officer. I expect action will be taken against Man City for that. And so it should. Incidents then start happening with stewards and police, and apparently things have been happening outside the ground as well, where apparently young children and women have been getting pushed over by police. Incidents have got into fights outside the stadium. It's all a bit of a sad and overshadowed the game, in my opinion. Now, I'm fully aware that Man City will have their fair share of knobhead fans, and I'm fairly sure that Wigan, well, we can clearly see, have got their fair share of knobhead fans who will stay away. So it's such a shame that it's overshadowed it. I hope that the FA do decide to take action. I've seen people saying that Wigan should be chucked out of the FA Cup for it. It's just ludicrous. It's just stupid. What should be done is there should be better policing. There should be better stewarding. They should do the jobs, and if they're not doing the jobs, then replace them, remove them, have action against them, and take action against the fans that have been involved with that incident. With all that being said and done, I apologise for this video being so long, but there's a lot to talk about and there's a lot to get through. I just want to lastly just say, well done to Wigan, absolutely fantastic win. I hope you go and do really well in the FA Cup and we'll see if you get promoted. I'm not too sure with all the games coming on, I'm not too sure, but good luck for the rest of the season. And for City, I'll see you all again later this week for the Man City preview for Wembley and the Carabao Cup final. Can we finally get a trophy? Onwards and upwards, lads. There we go. So I'll see you all later in JSGC. Hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. Links to my social media, they're in the description below. Link to my other channels there at the end of this video. Click them, check out, like, subscribe. That'd mean a lot. Like this video if you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. And subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you all later. Peace. Ciao for now.